to discuss about fugacity. It is a new concept. Then relation between fugacity and pressure, determination of fugacity of a real gas, variation of fugacity with temperature and pressure. Then about activity, dependence of activity on temperature and pressure. So let us begin with fugacity. The concept of fugacity was introduced by an American chemist, Jean Louis, and this term is used for representing the real behavior of van der Waals gases, which is different from behavior of ideal gases. So far we have been discussing about ideal gases in the case of chemical potential and all. We discussed about ideal gas. So with the concept of fugacity, we are trying to represent the real behavior of van der Waals gases or real gases. And we have already derived that for ideal gases, the chemical potential is related to pressure, molar concentration and mole fraction. So we have seen it in the previous video, right? So chemical potential can be defined as mu is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln P, where chemical potential is related to pressure. In general term, we can write mu I is equal to mu 0 I plus RT ln Pi. Then chemical potential can be related to concentration. Mu I is equal to mu 0 I C plus RT ln Ci. Similarly, chemical potential can be related to mole fraction as well. Mu I is equal to mu 0 I plus RT ln Xi. So all these expressions are valid for ideal gases. Such expressions are not valid for real gases. What could be the reason? We know in the case of real gases, there occurs intermolecular attractive and repulsive forces, right? Because of these intermolecular forces, we cannot replace volume by RT by P. This equation PV is equal to nRT is valid for ideal gases. So in all our derivations, we have substituted V is equal to RT by P. But in the case of real gases, we cannot substitute V by RT by P because there exist intermolecular forces of attraction. Okay. So this intermolecular force of attraction or repulsion distinguishes a real gas from an ideal gas. For making these equations valid for real gases, a new function called fugacity function was introduced. As we have discussed now, for real gases, the molar volume V is not equal to RT by P because the equation PV is equal to nRT is valid only for ideal gases. And hence, the other equations of state should be used to express V as a function of pressure. If we are trying for that, that will lead to complicated equations. Hence, a new state function called fugacity was introduced that has the dimension of pressure and is applicable to real gases. Okay, so a new term which has the dimensionality of pressure was introduced, and that term is known as fugacity, and it is applicable in the case of real gases. So fugacity may be regarded as an effective pressure in the case of real gases, and it takes into account the deviation of a real gas from ideal gas behavior. Okay, so fugacity is nothing but effective pressure that defines the deviation of a real gas from ideal gas behavior. Fugacity is denoted by small letter F, and it means escaping tendency. Fugacity means escaping tendency. For example, if you are considering a liquid which is in equilibrium with its vapor, a liquid-vapor equilibrium. For this equilibrium, the chemical potential of the liquid will be equal to chemical potential of vapor. When a liquid is in equilibrium with its own vapor, the chemical potential of the liquid will be equal to chemical potential of the vapor. This equilibrium can be viewed in terms of molecular behavior, as the molecules of the liquid tend to escape into the vapor phase, evaporation, right? So molecules of the liquid tend to escape into the vapor phase, and molecules from the vapor phase tend to escape or condense back into the liquid phase. So there will be an equilibrium existing between the liquid and its own vapor. So this escaping tendency will be proportional to the pressure of the vapor. The escaping tendency of the vapor molecules from the vapor phase into the liquid phase will depend upon the vapor pressure. when these two escaping tendencies are equal. Okay, when the escaping tendency of liquid into vapor state or the reverse, vapor into liquid state, when both are equal, the system is in equilibrium, liquid vapor equilibrium. At a constant temperature, for the liquid vapor system at equilibrium, the vapor pressure is constant. So, when the liquid vapor system establishes an equilibrium and if the temperature is maintained constant, then the vapor pressure will also be a constant. We know what is vapor pressure, right? It is the pressure exerted by the vapor on the liquid surface. Okay, we know that. And since the chemical potential is related to pressure, which is a measure of the escaping tendency, the fugacity can be defined by equation mu is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln F. In the case of ideal gases, this equation was mu is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln P, right? So, instead of the pressure term P, we are replacing it by the escaping tendency or the effective pressure term, the fugacity term F. Okay, so here we have mu is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln F, because the chemical potential is related to pressure. In the case of ideal gases, here it has to be related to the escaping tendency or the fugacity. That is our equation 5. Now we are going to measure the difference in chemical potential of a gas between two states. So we are going to assume two states, state 1 and state 2, for the same gas at same temperature. Okay. So at state 1, we can represent it as mu1, which is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln F1. At state 2, chemical potential mu2 is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln F2. Now we have to find out the difference in chemical potential between state 1 and state 2. So mu2 minus mu1, right? Mu2 minus mu1 will be equal to, these terms cancels, right? And this is log term. So we have RT ln F2 minus ln F1 can be represented like this, right? So RT ln F2 by F1. So mu2 minus mu1 is nothing but d mu. D mu is equal to RT ln F2 by F1. That is our equation 6. So here we have fugacities as a ratio, right? Equation 6 gives only the ratio of the fugacities, and in order to express the fugacity in any state, it is necessary to define a reference state in which the fugacity can be assigned a specific value. So here we can see only a difference in chemical potential between two states, and here we have fugacities, ratio of fugacities in both those states, right? So if we are taking this F1 or any of these fugacity state, F1 as a reference state, and imagine this F1 has a particular defined value that we know, then by measuring the chemical potential, we can easily find out the fugacity of the real state, right? So it is important to define a reference state with a specific fugacity value. If mu2 minus mu1 is known, and if state 1 is the reference state, F2 can be assigned a value with respect to chosen reference state, right? As I have told you, if chemical potential of two states are known and F1 is the reference state which is already known, then F2 can be calculated. Mu1 will then be the chemical potential of the reference state. If F1 is taken as the reference state, or state 1 is taken as the reference state, F1 will be fugacity of the reference state, and mu1 will be mu1 will be the chemical potential of the reference state. We are assuming a reference state in order to calculate the absolute value of F2. And for an ideal gas, the fugacity and pressure are equal. Okay, so we have been discussing about real gases, and we have introduced the term F to express the pressure or escaping tendency of real gases. And imagine if the gas is gas is an ideal gas, the fugacity will be equal to pressure, right? In the case of ideal gases, we are using the term pressure. So as there are no intermolecular forces of interaction, fugacity and pressure are equal. So F by P is equal to 1 in the case of ideal gases. And in the case of real gases, if we are decreasing the pressure, what will happen? the molecules, gas molecules would move further and further, and there won't be any intermolecular interactions at the minimum pressure, right? Minimum level of pressure. So this real gas would start to behave as ideal gases, right? Hypothetically. So for a real gas in general, one can state that limit P tends to 0, F by P is equal to 1. What does that imply? Here we have mentioned limit P tends to 0, right? Pressure tends to 0 means molecules are moving apart and no intermolecular force of attraction. That means this viscosity term will be equal to pressure, right? Because the gas is almost behaving ideally. So P by P is equal to 1 when the pressure is minimum. Okay. Therefore, the forced reference state is chosen as the low pressure at which F is equal to P. So the reference state is tuned in a way that the viscosity at that state should be equal to pressure, and this is possible when the pressure is very low. Instead of a reference state, we can also consider a standard state where pressure can be taken as 1 bar, a fixed value, 1 bar. The gas behaves ideally. So we are going to assume at a pressure of 1 bar the gas would behave ideally. It is a hypothetical condition, so that not only F is equal to P, but F and P both are equal to unity. So instead of a reference state, we are assuming, hypothetically assuming a standard state of 1 bar pressure. So F by P will be equal to 1. Okay. Both F and P are unity. However, in our reference state, F is equal to P but not equal to 1. For real gases, thermodynamic properties can be expressed in terms of viscosity in place of partial pressure. Okay. So mu I is equal to mu 0 plus RT ln Fi. The difference d mu I is equal to RT d ln F. So RT ln F2 by F1 is replaced as RT d ln F. This concept of viscosity applies not only to real gases but to liquids and solids as well, since at a constant temperature these condensed phases have a finite vapor pressure with which they are in equilibrium. In the case of liquids and solids, there will be a small amount of vapors produced, and liquid or solids will be in equilibrium with their corresponding vapors. So this concept of viscosity can be applied not only in the case of real gases but also in the case of solids and liquids as well, but to a very small extent, right? And since F by P tends to unity as the gas approaches ideal behavior, right? As the gas approaches ideal behavior, the concept viscosity can be replaced by pressure because there are no intermolecular interactions. So there is no need to use viscosity, right? It will be equal to pressure. So when the gas approaches ideal behavior, F by P tends to be 1, and this ratio is called as the viscosity coefficient. Viscosity coefficient. So F by P is equal to 1 is the viscosity coefficient, and it is possible when the real gases approach ideal behavior at low pressures. It is therefore a measure of the deviation of the gas from ideal behavior. The farther it is from unity, the farther the gas is from ideal behavior. So when the ratio of F by P is close to unity, the gas behaves ideally, and if it deviates above or below the value unity, that means the gas moves away from the ideal gas behavior. Okay.